Good morning. Today we wanted to show you a few features that gives teachers control over students and student posting and commenting in Google Classroom. If you'll notice, I have my practice class open. I always try things first in a practice class setting, so that's something you might consider setting up for yourself as you try new things in Google Classroom. We are going to stay on our stream page because that's where students are mostly going to post and comment. So if you ever do have students that post some maybe somewhat inappropriate content, there is a way to disable. There's 3 things you can do to disable that feature for students. The first and easiest, we're going to come over here to our gear, and we're going to click in that gear in the upper right hand corner of your Google Classroom. This gear pops open all of your class settings. And you can see we've got our class details at the top, but then I'm going to come down here under General. Under General, we have our invite codes where we can manage those, but then we also have our stream page features. So stream is where we have the ability to turn off all students' posts and comments or just some. So we have this here, and it says right now I have it set to only teachers can post or comment. You actually have 3 options under this little tab, and you can put where students can post or comment, and most of the time that's where teachers leave this setting. And there's nothing wrong with that, and you can mute individual students, and I will show you that in just one moment. You have it to where students can only comment. So what this allows is for teachers to actually post something in the stream, and students can maybe comment on that thread. Maybe you post a question of some kind, and students can comment on that, but they will not be able to originate a post. The last option, which is where I've had it previously set, was only teachers can post or comment. So from that stream page, if this button is clicked, students will not be able to post or comment in that stream. And so that will save a lot of problems if you are having some concerns with what students are posting. The other option I want you to see here that's really good, especially if you have it to where students can post and comment, is this show deleted items. And you can turn this feature on or off at any time. I have a tendency to just leave it on. What this will do is a lot of times students will post something and they're like, oh yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that. And so they go back in and delete it. If this is not set, you, other than the email, if you have your notifications set that way, you won't be aware that something inappropriate was posted. So here, if you have this to where it shows deleted items, it will, once that delete button is hit by a student, it does remove it from the student page, but it will leave it on the teacher's feed so that the teacher does have that documentation. The way that you will know it's been deleted is that it will no longer appear in the dark, bold black color. It will now appear in a light gray color, and it will show when it was originally posted with a timestamp and when it was deleted with a timestamp as well. So that's an option that you will have. As always in Google Classroom, anytime you change something in your settings, you do have to hit save. So once you determine what the best settings are for you, please make sure you hit that save button. And then the next feature I'm going to show you is how to mute individual students. So if you do have just one student, the most of your class is being perfectly well behaved, but you do have 1 or 2 you need to deal with, then you can come up to this People tab at the upper center of your Google Classroom screen. Drop that People screen open, and you can come in here and you can actually mute any individual student. So you would click the button next to their name, click Actions, and I can mute that individual student. And so if you do only have 1 or 2 that you need to deal with, then you have that ability to have that control. And you can always maybe have a side conversation with them and then come back in and unmute them at a later time. So these are just different features that teachers can utilize to really put some classroom management into place into your Google Classroom. Thank you, and we will see you again soon.